Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing really well. A big warm welcome if you're new here and thank you so much for joining me. Today we're talking about what some women in general sometimes wear that can make us look more dowdy and more frumpy. And I'm going to be offering ideas on what we can do to make us look more current and a little bit more now. Now, I know that when we get to our age, we tend to care a bit less about what other people think. You know, we know what we like, we know what we don't like. We've got our own taste by now, haven't we? And our own style and our own comfort levels. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we should stop making an effort to be the best version of ourselves that we can be. You know, it's our life after all. Let's make the best of it. What I would say though is that this video is a little bit light-hearted, a little bit tongue-in-cheek. I hope you won't be cross with me. You know, these are my opinions and you may not agree with them, which is absolutely fine, of course. But the bottom line that I always say is wear what you want. So let's kick off straight away with my ideas about what makes us look more frumpy. I'm going to be offering ideas on what we can do instead so that we can look fresher, more modern and even better. And I've got a little discovery which can really make us look fresher, brighter and more radiant at our age from a company called And Begin. And Begin is perfectly targeted to women of our age. It's a personalised skincare company specifically created for midlife skin. It's the sister brand of Skin and Me, which you may have heard of. But the real hero product that I can't wait to share with you later in the video, it's called The Revolution. And it really is. It's a revolution for my skin. I want to tell you all about it later on because you'll want to know. And to be really brave, I'm going to be really brave and show you my skin with no makeup on. Oh my goodness. Let's start with my first thing that may be making you look a little bit frumpy and which needs to go, which is number one, wearing too much fabric all over. Now, I think that too much fabric all over the body tends to give a more frumpy feel. Now, I don't mean single oversized pieces, of course. If they're styled in a balanced way with something more fitted, that can look really, really good. No, what I mean here is the whole look, especially with boxy shapeless tops, you know, long droopy things and dresses as well, where nothing is defined, which can give a really frumpy feel. For a start, it's not flattering for any figure to not to have any idea what your figure is underneath your clothes. And then also, you know, sadly, society tends to associate older people with covering up a lot more. So if you cover up, you'll be kind of sliding into that kind of mindset category of older and frumpier. There's still, unfortunately, a tendency that if you wear lots of fabric and bulkiness, it will age you. So what I'd suggest instead is to wear something that defines the waist or gives some idea of shape and that there's actually a person inside. It doesn't have to be with a belt, of course, but just a little inwards definition, perhaps with a jacket which stops at the waist or with a shirt tied around your middle perhaps. And another option, of course, is to wear a print which distracts the eye away from those areas that you want to hide or disguise. That's a route to it. Now, my next point, which tends to make us look a bit frumpier, is this. Number two, wearing a whole all pastel coloured outfit. Now, I love pastel shades. They're so pretty. But what I'm talking about here is all over pastel. You know, there's something about an all pastel outfit that just makes us look a little bit granny-ish. Don't get me wrong, grannies are wonderful people. Mine was absolutely fabulous, although rather opinionated. I'm sure I haven't taken after her at all. Comments underneath, please. Or maybe not. But I do think the reason why all pastel outfits can look frumpy is to do with the softness of the colour. You know, if we wear it all over, because it tends to go with softer hair colour as we get older, and therefore there's very little differentiation between our skin, our clothes and our hair, which results in a sort of ghostly, washed out look, which isn't very youthful. So to remedy this, I would suggest injecting a little bit of bright colour into your life. Not with every item, but little touches if you aren't comfortable with lots of colour. But of course, the easiest way to inject colour, especially in the summer, is with, you've guessed it, a bright coloured dress, like the one I've got on. This is such a cheerful dress, you know. This is from Marks and Spencer's, very reasonably priced. And of course, it doesn't have to be as bright as this red. Obviously, choose whatever you like. But the idea is that it can make you feel more cheerful and more uplifted. You know, it's the dopamine effect. As I said, this is Marks and Spencer's and it's in viscose, so it's very breathable. Now it's actually been very popular, so if you do like it, I would rush to the site and I will link it below for you. Now what I've done here in the cutaway is I've just teamed it simply with my Michael Kors nude sandals, which are really comfy, proving actually that you can still be comfortable without looking frumpy. And these beautiful gold pieces from Monica Vinader. Now they're the same pieces that I'm wearing now actually. Now this gorgeous necklace, which is so minimalist and modern, literally goes with everything. I really do think this is useful because if you don't want to wear much in the way of jewellery, this is subtle but it really adds polish. And these little cuff earrings are also really up to date, and they're the sort of earrings that look perfect with anything and they're not too much of a statement. And if you go through my link, which is underneath the video, through the Monica Vinader link, you can get 20% off everything. Anyway, on the subject of dresses, I did a video recently where I recommended 10 of my very favourite best summer dresses and summer dress styles for us ladies over 50, which you might like to have a little look at later as well, and I will link that too. Okay, on to my third thing that could be making you look a little frumpy. It is, please don't be cross with me, clunky, wide-strapped, flat sandals. I really think that our choice of footwear is one of the most important ways that we can either go down the road to Frumpsville or turn the other way and go to Better Town, where we will look a much better version of ourselves. So I'm really sorry, as I said, and please don't hate me for this, but these clunky, wide-strapped, flat types of sandals are one of my absolute pet hates. Now we're seeing them everywhere and I've really struggled to find them flattering, especially on anyone over really, let's say 25. Now I'm not talking about classics like Birkenstocks, they are wonderful, but I'm talking about the really chunky heavy shoes. Now the thing about a chunky bulky sandal like this is that it cuts off your leg line and makes your legs look shorter and wider, especially in black or a dark colour, and they just look so heavy stuck on the end of your leg. But you know, when styled properly with an outfit that's flattering, a chunky sandal can be a hip and fun look, especially if you're a student. But when worn with something conservative or classic or pretty, it can just look a little bit stodgy. Now I'm not saying no flat solid sandals, not at all, but just not ones that have so much clunk. Now some examples that are better and just as supportive and comfy are ones like these, and so much better. And some of the Birkenstocks, as I said, are especially beautiful, especially in bright colours. That can look really good. You know, to be honest, I think that the colour does make a big difference here. I don't know what you think, but something brighter or more colourful than dark brown or black will always look much less frumpy. I just hope I haven't upset you too much. But while I am on the subject of frumpy shoes, I absolutely need to talk about these. My number 4 is Velcro straps on sneakers. Now the worst ones, I think, have all these elements. They've got basically a chunky beige rubber sole. They've got really wide Velcro straps. They cover the whole foot right up to the ankle basically, and they're usually in a nondescript washed out colour, and they got perforated detailing. So Velcro fastening sneakers are an example of where we can really improve, I think, and elevate our footwear choices. So instead, perhaps you could consider going for something like this: soft, candy or pretty shades of sneakers that you can just slip on. These are Vivaya. Now they've got the same properties as Velcro in the sense that you can easily slip them on and off without having to untie the laces, and they're incredibly comfortable. But the real difference is that they look amazing, so pretty. Now I did feature these fabulous sneakers from Vivaya, they come in lots of different colours, in a recent video on my top 6 favourite comfortable shoes, which I will link below. I just love them. I find them so supportive around the foot and the heel, as well as so comfy. Okay, I hope you're still with me. To number 5, which is a very contentious one again. Number 5 is wide leg capri pants. Now I've spoken about capri pants before, and I want to kind of break them down here because not all capri pants are created the same. They can be really useful to hide the knees, and also if you live in a hot place they can be cooler around the legs. You know, I get that. But what I would say is, if you love capri pants, of course, wear them by all means, but do try to make sure that they're not those wider leg ones that just stop at the fattest part of the calf. Instead, try to choose those that fit a bit better, that fit the leg more closely, because they're a lot more flattering. Now, if you are looking for other options, you could try cropped and ankle length pants, which are cool as well and comfortable, but they look more current and they're more flattering because they tend to end where most women's legs become more narrow, you know, right at or a couple of inches above the ankle. And this way you're still hiding the areas of your body you don't want to show, but you're not cutting off your leg at the worst possible point to foreshorten your leg. Or you could go for loose linen trousers, that's another really good option, or an A-line or floaty skirt which covers your knees, and of course that's the airiest option. Okay, for my next point, which is no makeup at all. Now, I love the no makeup look, which of course is an entirely different thing from no makeup, of course. But as we all know, it's really how men imagine we look with no makeup on. But what we really look like with no makeup on is a little bit different. And well, in my case, it's actually pretty horrific. I'm sure you look much better. Now, I'm going to be really brave in just a few minutes and show you myself with no makeup on my face. Well, I have a little bit of eye makeup on, but nothing on my face at all. Now, I've never done this before. Eek. So I need to tell you that for me, wearing no makeup is something I haven't done since I was about 15, honestly. So this was a really big deal for me and I'm very underconfident about it, so please be understanding. In fact, when I just get a few years older, I can actually see myself possibly going down this rabbit hole, but I hope not. I know better. It's just applying that knowledge which is tricky. Maybe some of you can relate slightly. It's lack of confidence basically. But this point is really contentious, I think, and this is really going to get the comments going. I can feel it. I really think that wearing no makeup at all, not just a little bit of lip gloss or something, but no makeup at all, can really add to the frump factor. Especially if there are some of the other elements there as well. It just doesn't set us off to our best advantage. You know, just a touch to restore some colour and definition is all that's needed really. You know, not full face, but just a little bit. Now, I get that we don't always have time. You know, maybe we think that we don't really need it so much at our age, or maybe our partners say they don't like it. It could be for whatever reason, but I think just a touch makes all the difference. But if you aren't a fan of makeup, well, not very much anyway, one way to look better, of course, and not frumpy, is with really effective skincare. So, as many of you know, I have a little discovery most weeks, and I'd like to introduce you to my this week's newest discovery, which I've actually been using for a couple of months now. Absolutely love the results. In fact, I'm on my second one of them, and the product is called The Revolution, and it's from And Begin, which, as I mentioned earlier, is a sister company of Skin and Me. And Begin is a personalised skincare company specifically created for our midlife skin. Now, I don't know about you, but since I started the menopause, which was a few years ago, my skin has been all over the place. It's been dry in areas that used to be oily, like my forehead, nose and chin, and I've had the most horrible spots like you wouldn't believe. And of course, I've accumulated UV exposure, which means I have uneven pigmentation too. Yay! Anyway, And Begin honestly has changed my life for my skin. You know, I've tried so many skincare brands, I expect you have, through our lives, but this one is really different. It's a nighttime serum in a cream, basically, which has been designed by dermatologists who really understand what happens to our skin in mid-age. You know, and they're using potent, proven ingredients that are clinically backed by science. And best of all, it's personalized. Even says personalized for Deirdre. To each person's individual skin to deliver real results. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach like so many other skincare brands. So it's basically unlike anything else I've ever used and anything else out there on the high street. Now I'm going to be very brave here and show you the picture of my real skin, makeup-free, before I started using And Begin. Yes, you can see that in reality, my skin was pretty horrible. I mean, seriously. The pores were so open you could have driven something through them. I had lots of redness and damage, kind of scarring from spots that I'd had when I was younger. I mean, basically, this is why I wear makeup. And then And Begin approached me and I jumped at the chance. Basically what happens is that you have a simple online consultation that's reviewed by And Begin's expert dermatology team, and then you upload pictures of your skin. Those must have been a bit of a shock for them when they saw mine. Then your perfect personalised solution of a serum in a cream, the Revolution, is sent to you. You know, right from the first time of using it, I felt the real hydrating qualities of the product, which has soothing ceramides and peptides, and it really feels like velvet when you smooth it on, as does my skin now. I honestly couldn't believe the difference. After about 2 months of using it, I have real visible results. And here they are. This is my makeup-free skin a couple of days ago. Now, you can see, well, I've got a little bit of eye makeup on, I think, in this, but nothing on my face. You can see that my pores are much less obvious. The redness is really reduced, and the overall texture is so much better and more uniform. And it feels so much softer and plumper too. And this is because my special personalized Revolution cream has been specially formulated to address my own particular needs. And what I really love about Ambigin is that they're experts for our types of skin issues. You know, they understand us and they champion midlife women, and each Revolution is specially created for each person. I just love that. Now, I see the Ambigin product as a kind of defrumping for the face. After all, your skin needs to keep up with you as well. So I have a code for you, which is Deirdre, D-E-I-R-D-R-E, and when you use this, you can get your first order for a knockdown price of £4.99. Wow. Just go through the link that you can see on the screen now, and which I'll put under the video for you. Ambigin ships to the UK only at this stage, I'm afraid. I'm going to have to talk to them. So you can upgrade your skincare as well as your wardrobe. So on to my final thing that might be making you look a little bit frumpy, and this is very upbeat. Not being open to trying something new. Now, I think it's really important to be open to new ideas. I mean, all our lives really, but even more important now to experiment with fashion and style and just have fun. I also think this is one of the biggest mistakes that some of us can make, and I know I've done that in the past as well. You know, you kind of get in a rut, wearing the same things over and over again, and this can be a big reason why your wardrobe may be aging you and maybe you're looking a little bit tired or frumpy. Now, if what you're wearing suits you really well, then absolutely fine. But sometimes, you know, it's nice just to ring the changes a little bit, isn't it? Figuring out how to not look old means opening your mind a little bit to new things. Now, I don't mean be a trend chaser, but there's nothing wrong with trying something new. You know, you can try them on in the changing rooms. Remember, just because you put it on, it doesn't mean you have to buy it. It's just a little bit of an experiment. You know, try out new brands when you go shopping. Pick up pieces that you might normally be too scared to try. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video, ladies. I know it's been a bit contentious, but I also know that when you comment below, you will be your lovely, kind selves. It's such a wonderful community. So please do give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, I'd love to have you join our gorgeous community. Don't forget to check out Ambigin and take advantage of my code Deirdre to get a discount on your first order of the Revolution. So I hope you have an amazing day, amazing week. Looking forward so much to seeing you in a few days for a few more short and long videos. So watch out for them. Lots of love to you all. Bye.